Well, see, we know you're a witch because you like lighting fires.
It's true.
Ready?
I am. Eddie.
Hello and welcome to another
Cosmic Crone conversation. I'll give her one job. I say, you introduce it this week, mate. Flip it.
Oh God, I'm going senile. Well, today we are talking about witchcraft as a craft and whether you have been brought up in witchcraft or in witchcraft in a witchy family, or
yeah, basically knowing where you come from within a witchy family, so you've been brought up, or did you have to find it out yourself?
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
You know, like soul families or your immediate family, if you've had witches in the past in your family. And growing up, you know, like my kids growing up into, I was a single parent for most of Charlie was 7 when we got divorced and Bradley was 4, so he didn't really know his dad. He was completely against anything like that. I used to do tarot in secret. He wouldn't let me do anything.
You mean
in the house.
Your ex?
Yeah wouldn't let me do anything, and I think he threw away the books that I hid, because one day I used to hide them on the top of the wardrobe. Yeah, so I used to hide anything to do with witchcraft. I used to hide, and he found it and he binned it, I think. So up until that point my kids weren't exposed to it, but then it's not like I pushed it into them. I didn't. You know, it's not like a religion, you know, where you sit the kid down and you teach them these things, open up the book, you know, today we're going to learn about this and this is God and that. No, it's not about that. But I did take my kids to haunted places and graveyards, and we did seances. Well, no, I don't call it.
Charlie told me she used to go for a bit of fun. Let's go to the graveyard.
Yeah. I never used to take my kids. No, I did take my kids to cinema and stuff. I had fun with my kids. You know, we did a lot of things. We didn't have mobile phones when they were young. It was only when sort of Charlie became a teenager.
You mean like so? You're sorry. What I was going to say. So your way of life, your beliefs, you started to sort of include your kids in.
Yeah, they saw me doing readings, you know, and they knew, you know, 7 o'clock, a lady's coming round for a reading, go up in the bedroom while mummy's doing a reading, I'll shut the kitchen door, you know, stop sparking and whatnot. And they'd let me get on with it. Sometimes they would creep in, and like my son would look in, and he was the one that was always interested, and he is into he does tarot. He's a great writer. He's
if you look
nearly
back on
finished his novel,
another podcast, you know, what was the bloke's name? It's gone out my head. Lovecraft.
He's
if you look up that one, we had an interview with Brad about his beliefs and his book he's writing. And
so he does delve into deities, and his wife, she is the same, so they really got on well together. So I presume, you know, when they have kids, they are going to grow up
having knowledge.
And Gabby loves flowers and you know, dry flowers and decorating with flowers and nature and using natural. They both have health problems with food, so they really do eat natural, which is a part of being a witch, you know, using herbal remedies and not going to the drugstore chemist and buying drugs.
Comes to a question. Witchcraft, can it help heal people with you know, particularly around, I was thinking around sicknesses, you know, like things, that ailments
Yeah.
and things. So, and they believe in that, so they're doing their best, I would believe, to eat the best they can,
Well,
to look
that's
after
right. And
themselves.
using natural remedies, you know, like you had visitors recently, and your friend got severely sunburnt because she stayed out in the midday sun, like any stupid Brit does, you know.
Don't
You're
hold
always
back.
told, don't go out in the sun. Anyway, she wasn't really
Wouldn't listen to
up
me.
for
Wouldn't listen to me with what you're gonna
using,
say.
yeah. Will you say it then? You
Yeah,
know,
basically, I've got growing in the garden, aloe vera.
yeah.
That's right, we laugh because I always called it aloe vera. Anyway, yes, so didn't listen to me, wouldn't use it. Then, without further ado, when Tina visited, she went straight outside, cut it off, and just plonked it on her. And it was the best thing that ever happened. So, witchcraft can, you know, earth, like, there's lots of different witches, but you know, I was going to say, you're at one with the earth, aren't you? Nature.
Using nature.
Yeah, using
Yeah.
nature in magic and things like that. Do you think you were drawn to magic or witchcraft?
Do you know
Or
it? My first instances of realizing that I wasn't normal. I mean, I do have borderline autism, but the first time was when my granddad died. I was about 6 or 7,
right?
and you know everyone's crying around the grave at the funeral, and I was pushing my little dolly in my buggy, and I saw him standing there, and then I obviously saw him at home afterwards, and to me I couldn't understand why everyone was crying because granddad was
He
there.
was there. He was
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
and he was quite a stern, let's say, yeah, he was strict and stern, and he was someone to be scared of if you were a naughty child, you know. But I was very young, but apparently my mum said he loved me, you know, doted on me, and so I wasn't scared of him. But there was some slight thing. I knew that he wasn't a real person anymore. I understood that, but it's like I didn't get the upsetness of everybody else that he was gone. So from that point, there was the beginnings of, okay, I'm seeing things that other people aren't, and I understand things that other people don't. And from then on, I knew there was something different. So later on, I think I was about 11, 12, my mum bought me my first divination, which was cards, but it was called the Osiris Wheel, and it was about Egypt. And then I had this fascination with ancient Egypt, and I bought Egyptian tarot. So that was my introduction to divination and reading tarot. So that was very young age, just before senior school, we would have called it then, you know, my teenage years. So I was already into stuff by then.
Like finding stuff out.
Yeah, and then I found out, through doing this, that my great nan was a
Can I just stop? Yeah, when through doing this, meaning today's podcast,
Yeah.
you got in contact, didn't you, with your family?
Yeah, I spoke to my aunt, if anyone in our family beyond me, because my aunt is not like me. No one's like me. So there must be somebody, and there was. So her nan would be my great nan. She used to read tea leaves, and she used to read cards, as in playing cards. And apparently she was really good. And she said that she done some guy who she said he was going to come into money through his own business and become very wealthy. And he did. And he later came back to her and apparently gave her like a fob watch, a gold fob watch as a gift, you know. And, you know, other things happened. So
is that what you were telling me the other day, that because she was so straightforward and gave it as it was, she wouldn't do any readings for anybody under 18.
18. She would never do children. Yeah.
Boy.
I don't know.
Mhm.
I mean, I wouldn't do children. I would never do a child.
Yeah.
People have asked me doing tarot readings, you know, oh, is my child going to be this? How, you know, they just want to know about their children, how they're going to grow up. And then I can say, okay, we'll do a short reading on that. But I don't make it like the main issue. It's just, you know, I always say to people, do you want to ask a question afterwards? And they might say, oh, how will my child come out? Or sometimes when you're doing a reading anyway and you'll see children in the cards, then you will talk about them. But no, I wouldn't do a reading for a child.
What about, so for today's pod, we're just saying that you've actually found out from you feeling that you weren't the same as everybody else to now you found out
that I wasn't the only one. And
yeah.
I mean, they do say it skips generations, don't they? Well, that's skip 2, isn't it? Because it's my great nan.
Yeah.
But I don't know much on my granddad's side.
Do you also think that things are not spoken about if somebody was doing something, you know, within witchcraft, occultism, or anything? I know somebody who's what was it? I think their father was something to do with a lodge or something. Let me just say it like this. And he was into magic and things like that. But hang on, that was my friend. But her her son never knew anything about it until she passed, because she didn't want to carry that. She felt ashamed of what it was, you know, what he was doing. Sorry, I don't know any details.
Yeah.
I don't. But I reckon that can happen.
So,
that it's seen as wrong.
I mean, we was looking at names as well, you know, as in a physical, you know, like where your surname comes from.
Oh, yeah,
you know, so rather than, you know, spiritual, maybe in past lives you've done something on the physical plane, hereditary. Mine names on my nan's side was Holt, and I looked that up, and it was to do with living in the woods. And I looked up my granddad's side, Radford, which is, the name means Red Ford, living by a ford, a stream with a bridge. That's how people got their surnames, where they lived, or it was like carpenters, wasn't it? You know, or butcher.
Yeah, you know, that's very, very similar, isn't it?
And my descendants look like maybe came from Nottingham, Coventry, could have been Ireland, and Germanic. So, you know, within that, obviously I have Italian roots as well, Sicilian actually, which
as well as
yeah, you know, so I have got a lot of a mix up, a bit of a mongrel.
Well, talking of mix ups, we don't want to get you mixed up anymore. Just to take a bow for one moment, is that we are today, because we are, what kind of podcast are we? Location, that's the one. We haven't used that for ages. We're a location podcast. And today we're at the ancient place of Salamis in northern Cyprus. We're in the picnic area, and we thought it was so like it was nice here. So we couldn't go on the beach. We couldn't go on the beach. It was very windy today.
Yeah, the water's quite choppy today.
So we hope you like the background and everything. And don't forget, we do these podcasts to try and get donations apart from our interest. Just go and donate to the TRNC
Animal Rescue Family.
Do it on PayPal,
SOSdogs2017 at outlook.com.
That's it. And give our plug, and we'll get back to our podcast. But I was going to say, you, up until the other day, did you know there was anything within your family? Because
no, all I knew was my nan read tea leaves, and I never actually knew there was a story behind it. And she was well known in the area for doing readings.
Right. And the thing is, you say, people say, oh, there's nothing in my family. But at the end of the day, you go back thousands of years and every single person has got a lineage, a background. May have not, it's not about skipping, it just probably didn't carry on in some.
And I think
some
everybody
places
has a niche.
Yeah.
In within that, you know, like some people are healers.
Yeah.
you know.
Empaths.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that type of thing. Which
Yeah.
you say you feel you are.
Oh, God. Yeah, it drives me crazy.
You know, even before you
I
met
don't mean
me,
it in a bad way. I just,
I mean, we've known each other for what?
Three
Three
years.
years?
About 3 years.
So before you met me, where was your witchcraft coming into your life? Not so much witchcraft, but maybe spiritual things happening.
Cosmic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew that one of my granddads was a magician on stage. I knew that by, you know, what my nan was telling me.
Yeah.
You know, she passed it on one side. That's my mum's side. On my dad's side, my nan was very intuitive about a lot of things, but I didn't realise what it was. Then my dad, he's very, very, again, intuitive, if you want to say. He's very knowledgeable about the way people are, the way to help them heal, even if he doesn't like them. You know, like if he's got, you know, maybe something again. When I say something again, they've done somebody else wrong, and he'll go, they'll understand one day. They'll learn from this. And you know what? When I think about it, our dad's got some really
quite philosophical,
witchy ways. If you want me to put it like that, it could be philosophical.
I mean, it's good that, you know.
But he knows things. Yeah. He knows. And then me.
Now witches.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, witches. Yeah, definitely. Because some of them were called warlocks, wizards. But I think in this day and age now, from what I can gather, you know, it's quite a privilege, isn't it, for men and women to be called witches? It should be. Yeah. It should be that way. But I was going to say, to answer your question, because my dad was so open with me, but he's not with everybody else, he sort of drew me into this area of, if that's what you think, if that's what you believe, if it's in your gut, basically. He didn't say those words, but then go with it, because that's the right way. Yeah, it's never, you know, it's not pushing your kids or anything. You know, I would never have pushed my kids into anything. They naturally went what way they wanted to go. Charlie has no interest in witchy, anything spiritual. I actually gave her my mum's old cards. You know, say that my mum wasn't spiritual. She did have an oracle deck that I bought her, which was mermaids. Oh yeah, I remember you saying. Yeah, we used to actually just take them to the beach and use them for that, because they were mermaid cards. Lovely track to love. Yeah. But, you know, and then she lost the cards, as you know. We've been looking everywhere for them cards, and they were my mum's. You know. And I was, I'm quite upset, because it's the only thing I've got left of her, really. Sorry, I'm just having a quick drink. She had them in a beach bag, and she moved house and they've gone. So that's how interested she is in anything witchy. She's really not bothered. Whereas Bradley, he went his own way, and I let him find his own way. I never pushed him into anything. If he asked me questions, you know, I tell him, and he still does now, and he's about 28, 29 now. And he still, now and then, we have chats about things, and he'll say, oh, Mum, I had this dream, or, you know, I had this vision. I was meditating and this happened. What do you think that means, Mum? You know? It's like running by, well, yeah, I've done this, but this happened. How are they connected, or what does that mean? It's like anybody, isn't it? But to ask their parents advice, but it's witchcraft, occult. That's what he's asking you, isn't it? And I think anything spiritual, you learn from within.
I don't believe in all these gurus and stuff.
That's funny you should say that, because I wrote down these days you can do DNA tests, not for like, oh, particular witch, but you can find out that about your lineage, what areas people came from. You can go back, you can do those looking at who was in my family.
Ancestry,
yeah,
things
but
you can do.
I think if you're not aware that you have ancestors or relatives that deal with the occult or Wiccan or any kind of witchcraft, or being a witch. I wrote this down. He says, if you're doing it yourself, I believe that you have to master how to protect yourself when you're beginning or ending anything within what you're practicing, because that's not taught to, when people go, oh, you're a witch, you are, and you go, you are. You do these strange things, because that's said to people now, but it's more accepted, would you say? That people are, because you can be part of a coven, can't you? Or you can do it on your own. I mean, that many YouTube channels or podcasts, I would think. I haven't looked at podcasts.
And there are a lot of young people
that are helping.
Yeah.
They help you, recognise within you. Because some people, I have known people to have phases. Oh, I'm a witch, I am. Because I feel this, I'm at one with nature and all this. Nah, it was a passing phase. It really was a passing phase.
And I think that type of thing is about ego. It's about, me going through a phase, like you said, and then moving on to another one. It's where do I fit in?
There's also that Bible story about, is it Lilith? That was Adam's first missus or whatever. And it says, Adam wasn't, I put these down, these notices. Adam wasn't happy, and she had her own will and everything, and she was cast out. And this is like showing, and then she went to the, let's say, the dark side, didn't she? Right, if you follow religion and all that. Women, for example, in that, to me, it was an example of having strength. And that was what a lot of people, when they did the witch trials, if you want to call them that, they were trying to, I feel like a feminist now, but they were trying to suppress women's power. I wonder if that's the same. Well, I meant in a witch area. I think women and men are supported more now. It's gone past all that.
Anything with religion is demonising anything that doesn't conform to what they believe, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's just about the women. I bet half of them women, when they did they were doing, killing them and everything, right? But half of them women were either their mistresses or they were doing spells for them and helping them out. And it got a bit, we've got to get rid of them now. I think there's a lot of things around it, and there's so many things. I mean, look, okay, I'll bring it into here about if you're not brought up in a family of witches. What about Sabrina that came on the telly? Remember that?
Like you're saying,
Charmed,
trends,
bewitched.
Trends. It becomes trends, and then someone, as I said, going back to ego, it's like a trend, a fashion statement, isn't it? And then like looking like a witch, with black lipstick and black clothes, and that's like the movie image of a witch. If you are a real witch,
you gotta you'll feel it.
Yeah,
they believe more than the science of it all.
Look at us, the way we dress.
Just been in the sea.
Yeah, I do dye my hair lovely colours.
Gotta have it
when
cut.
I can't, we're gonna get a haircut.
You have your own journey. Whether you've had a parent, a sibling, an auntie, an uncle that has brought you into a world of wonder, to be honest with you, from my point of view, and given you the skills and let you grow and hone your skills, whatever that is.
I mean, like you, I was not really brought up with any witchy stuff. It sort of came to me, and I lived in the city in East London, you know, in rough area, and there was we had a little park to play in, and I always longed to be in a place like this. I always knew home wasn't London. It was in the countryside, in the forest, you know, by the sea, and completely different to where I was born. I knew I didn't belong there, and that would, I think, is like the spiritual yearning from feeling where you were in the past.
I've just, you were saying the connection of, you know, you said your name and years ago. I wrote this down. Oceans communicating with you. Look, it's there. Look, from what you were saying today, and the water connection. It, you know, you have the abilities in you to make things happen, and there's more to life. If this is resonating with anyone, than a 9 to 5 purpose, and you feel it. You may not know what to do, but it's there.
Yeah, you do get a
don't feel you're different.
Yeah,
you are normal. You are normal. You see, this is, you see more, if you feel that that's the way to go and you're not within a family, this is why I was said I'd gone this way in my notes, is because if you believe that you're communicating more than just this 3D situation, and if you see that the earth engages with other beings, there's another one here, and you know there's more basically to life than this earth. If you have some of those feelings, you're ticking the boxes. I don't mean it flippantly. If you have those urges, because not all of us have that ability to be, and I think it's quite precious if you've been brought up within a family, or, and like I say, a group of people that can get you at an early age. I know that sounds funny, but, and then that starts sounding bad actually, get you at an early age, but they're homing your way of thinking. Now, if you didn't have those ways of thinking, you were like going mad, you know what I mean? Why this is not the same as everybody else. It just feels as if you were already there, you had it given to you. Yeah,
bringing my kids up, it was a natural process to love animals and show them how to look after animals and care for animals and love nature.
I would say, you know, communicating with animals as well.
Yeah.
Because I would say Charlie, I didn't know Charlie when she was little, but she's spoken to you about instances where she got, I knew this, you know, the horse felt like this, or, you know, she had like a oneness.
Yeah.
And like Brad with his bird of prey.
Yeah.
I'm not saying just because you know your animal. No, we don't know everything about everybody or any animal. But you've got to, I think you've got to sort of like agree that that's awakening something precious and something that you can build on.
Yeah, I think every child should have an animal to love. I do.
Do you?
Yeah, I think it's that one thing, it's that connection, that universal love that comes with an animal.
And it shows a lot of, to me, it teaches you compassion, that you feel privileged, you know, about something. But you're right about, if you like, I'm not trying to tick boxes about witches, but it's like using like plants and herbs. Yeah. I mean, there was one here. I've got to tell you about what I wrote down. There's actually a witch called a kitchen witch.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, there's an actual book called Kitchen Witch.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. There's urban art. There's one called eclectic.
Yeah.
Now, as far as I'm concerned, everybody's eclectic, because you don't just go in the kitchen, unless you do, and do all your spells and everything in the kitchen. You've got to go outside, haven't you? Oh, hang on, the earth, that's not a kitchen.
Mm.
What I'm saying is, I don't like the labels people are
No,
given.
I don't like labels. That's why, you know, every podcast I say I don't like the word spiritual. And there isn't a word. And why should there be a word? Why should I label how I feel about nature? And why should I be labelled as autistic? Why should I be labelled as
Awkward.
yeah? I'm me.
Exactly.
You know.
And anybody listening and watching, you're you. And that's why I'm saying things. It's not always black and white, is it?
You know, like with your daughter.
Oh, she's very intuitive.
She's gone her own way, hasn't she? And she's gone that way. And we did send her a deck of our cards, didn't we? Which are a one-off because we never done
Dragons,
them again.
Yeah.
The hexagonal one.
Yeah.
She's the only one who's got that deck in the entire world.
And the minute she got them, she went, "Mum, I use them every day." Now, I
It's that little kickstart, isn't it?
I spoke to her about the tarot card. You know, like I spoke to her about things of, you know, brought her into the world of nature, going on walks and things. And what's that doing about herbs? Little did I know what was going on for me while I was doing that. The first introduction, I would say, was mint tea.
Oh, yeah.
Mint in the garden.
Yeah.
You know? I know that sounds... it might sound really like lowbrow.
But that's your kitchen witching ya.
Yeah, you see?
Witching ya.
So the eclectic one is more my thing. I think if you feel a sense of home within the witch community, which you may not know, but if you feel at home with that, practicing. I don't want to put labels, but there's some things like, do you like crystals? You could work with crystals.
Like I said, there's different, I call it niches, but you know, different types
areas
of things that you're interested in. I love the tarot. I'm addicted to different tarot decks.
Candles.
I love looking at them.
Candles.
Yeah.
Different coloured candles, and for different reasons,
Yeah.
and all that. We've already spoke about communication with animals. It is something that I wish that everybody had somebody in their family could give them a bit of a kickstart or introduce them to the world of the occult.
Magic.
Yeah, magic.
Yeah. It's magic. Yeah. Not. You know that word.
When I say the occult, I mean like
again,
to look into it.
It?
To look into it. Yeah.
That word.
I didn't say follow it.
No,
I said look into it.
It immediately takes people to, you know,
Alistair Crowley
and the devil
and all that. No. There's isn't that. No. There's darks and there's lights. I mean, I did write this little thing. I put I've seen a person go from curiosity of the craft to full blown what she considers to be a white witch. Yeah. She lives in Redditch, by the way. Forgotten her name. But yeah, she went from this curiosity. She was talking to me about it. Do you know what I was thinking? God, do you know what I was thinking? I'll put that there. What I was thinking is, I haven't had I'm not rich with it. I don't feel I'm rich. I'm just stirring the pot.
We're always learning, you know.
Exactly. I think I've helped other people.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I don't know that.
Yeah.
Because they've been able to talk to me. And it's a good thing being a witch, listening.
Yeah.
Listening.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to put labels, if you listen well, you love nature, you love working with crystals, you like your candles. I'm just being sarcastic now because it's not all about that.
Yeah.
But if you feel an infinity to go and find out more, go and do it. I think there's more witches out there than we realise.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm 50, we are both 56, yeah. So I've been doing this, or I've been this way for 40 odd years, 50
All
years,
your
I don't
life, mate. You just didn't realise it when you were in your nappy.
I won't say the word, but
No.
pooping out silver stars,
No, but you wouldn't.
pooping out fluffy clouds.
No, but you know what I mean. How would you know when you were in your nappy? What I'm trying to say is, when you had that realisation,
Yeah.
it was already there.
Yeah, but I mean, even now, I'm still learning. No one is ever a true master, you know. People are out there and they teach stuff, which is great, because you know I want to teach, and we've started doing tutorials on our tarot channel, which
is Cosmic Sisters Tarot.
Yeah, which I'm doing readings because I love doing readings.
Yeah, you do.
You know, and we're doing
I've got
the
mad with
tutorials
myself, haven't I?
together.
Oh,
yeah, we're doing tutorials together, but we're
if
we're
you're
bringing it in.
if you're learning the craft, right, and you're watching this and you're learning the craft, don't give up. Please don't give up, because I gave up throughout the years. That's been my problem, why I couldn't progress.
I stopped tarot and went through a stage when my nan died.
Yeah.
I suddenly felt it's gone. She's took it with her, and for a long time,
That was your confidence in it, and your
I
shock.
did sort of lose touch with the spirit world, and my spirit guide, who is called Anne. So she's not a shamanic Native American called Big Fat Tree or whatever. She's just called Anne. She's, you know, a normal person, and she appears to me however she wants to appear. Sometimes she looks like a witch in a flowing black dress. Sometimes she's in cowboy boots, because she was with me in a past life as my own child, which is another story. I think I spoke about her in our past life podcast. But slowly, you know, things came back to me, and then it would just be one person. Oh, you did the cards, didn't you? Oh, I don't do them anymore. And then I thought, you know what? I fancy a new deck, and I started afresh. And there's been a couple of times like I predicted a death once, and I burnt the cards, even though they didn't burn very well. I done my best to burn them, and bought a new deck and started afresh. So you know, you go through errors, different stages in your life where you do change attitude and stuff, but once a witch, always a witch.
Yeah, I was going to say, sometimes you're doing that on your own. Sometimes your life or priorities that you feel are more important have to you know, take dominance over what else. But I do it secretly if you can, you know, like to relax. I mean,
every day I get cards, in my car, I do the protection before I drive.
So coming back to what we were doing, right? I'm going to get the protection off you now. I was going to say, to end our podcast today, I don't think it matters. I think it helps, but I don't think it matters if you were brought up in a family that had the craft within their, you know, I don't like that, within everyday life. And I think if you have this infinity in this urge and this wanting to know a little bit more, am I a witch? Go and find out. So I think it helps you if you were in a family, because you would already know from a young age that you've been accepted, and you accept, even if you don't follow the craft, you will understand. If you aren't in a family, then I think it's for you to explore.
Yeah,
I really do. And you know, I just want to encourage anybody who has no recollection, or who doesn't know their family tree or anything, but they feel this infinity for magic.
Yeah,
go and do it,
and
get your own family.
Yeah, tell us about your journey, and in the comments.
And we really mean that.
Yeah,
forget about comment likes and everything. We say this every podcast. We really want to connect with you. We really want to know your story, and maybe one day talk to you. That'd be great. So I'm going to end today on What was our title?
Well, what is it to be a witch?
Or growing up in a family, yeah?
Yeah, growing up.
I don't know, really, because it was all sort of, not cloak and dagger, but, oh dear.
Yeah, I wasn't growing up in a witchy family. It just came to me.
But then you
But
found
then
out,
my children did grow up with,
and my child
someone.
did, so
Yeah.
that's,
But never forced upon them.
no.
I must say that it's never forced upon them.
My daughter, I think, had a dark moment in her life, but she realised that didn't make her feel safe. Let me put it that way. Didn't make her feel safe. So now she's quite good at what she does. Yeah. So we're going to say ta-ra.
Ta-ra.
And see you on the next podcast. I keep forgetting to get in contact with my friend Sam to do with all this.
Yeah.
So I will do that. I probably won't. And I'll say goodbye from me, Marie.
And goodbye from me, Tina.
And check out the other Cosmic Crone Conversation podcasts. And we'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.